What's going on, everybody? This is Professor Crypto Banana, and DeFi is very exciting, yet also very complicated. It goes over people's heads and they say, can you please explain this to me like I'm 5 years old? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to go over basic concepts, string it all together so you have a basic idea as to what's going on in this complicated landscape. We're going to talk about how to get your funds over from a centralized exchange, such as Binance, Coinbase, over to Metamask, how to bridge your tokens from, let's say, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, over to the Phantom side, how to create LP tokens to get rewards, and how to do different farming strategies with those rewards so you can get even more rewards. Crazy, huh? But a lot of fun. And also auto compounders. Just a little dabble with that. A little bit complicated? Don't worry, I got you, fam. But before we get started, I gotta hit you with that disclaimer. Yeah, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Keep in mind, it's just for entertainment and educational purposes only. I'm not a crypto expert, so double check my work. Especially in this video, I'm gonna be breezing through a ton of stuff. I'm gonna be missing out on a lot of details, purposely so. So if you decide to do anything, please do your own research, take a look at the resources, and yeah, because if you mess up, you can permanently lose your funds, not getting it back, nothing that can be done. And keep in mind that crypto's risky. Not scared? Still with me? Awesome. So what made me want to do this video? Well, Route2Fi posted out a tweet talking about some farming strategies on Liquid Driver. It's one of my favorite farming projects out there right now. And people are saying, hey, can you please explain this to me even simpler? So I decided, you know what, let's do just a quick tour of everything just so that you can get a basic idea of what's going on. So from start, you go to a centralized exchange and you buy a token and you have to send it to your Metamask. So I assume that you have your Metamask set up. And you can click right here, and what you do is you got, number one, make sure that the protocol type is correct. So protocol type just means what blockchain is it on. So if it's ERC20, that's Ethereum. If it's TRC20, I'd probably take it that is Tron. So if you send it to the wrong protocol, you're in trouble. I don't think you're going to get that back. Think of it as you got a friend out in Spain named Pedro, send him out a package, you didn't leave a return address, accidentally went to Argentina, you're out of luck. You could say, but Professor, it's the same package. It's like, well, it's in a different country now. No way to track it. Well, I guess you could track it, but the idea remains the same. That's how I'm picturing it, so make sure to do the right protocol. Now, coins such as USDC, USDT, there's different tokens, bunch of different tokens. They can exist on different blockchains. So let's say you go to CoinGecko, you can see right here, this is the address that'll happen for MetaMask and for Ethereum, but you can click on this little down arrow. It's like, oh, that's the address on Binance Smart Chain, and this is for Solana, etc. So next question is, how do you set that up? Well, on MetaMask, you got all these different options. I already have it configured. But you can actually Google the different RPC and how to do it. So for example, I looked up how to set up Phantom on MetaMask, and it'll tell me step by step. And it'll give me all the details right here. I'll paste that in. So in MetaMask, I just click here. I would click on the top right. And there's other guides and resources, so I'm sure you can check it out. But this is just a quick visual. And you go to Settings, and then you can go to Networks. And then you can go to Add Network, and then boom, it'll happen all right there. Notice how I got that? So cool. Got that all set up. So you can set up different blockchains. And one thing to keep in mind is if you're ever going to be going to a blockchain for the first time, make sure you have that native currency. So if you're going to Ethereum, have ETH. If you're going to Binance Smart Chain, have BNB. Why? It's similar to going to a different country. Let's say Ethereum is in the US, and you go to the supermarket and you want to buy something, you need American dollars, right? You go over to Europe, you go over to like London, what are you going to need? Pounds, right? Because it's in England. Now you could say, but I'm in England, I got American dollars. I know it's worth something. It's like, yeah, it's worth something, but I'm sorry, if you want to do a transaction, you're going to have some of that first. Sorry. So that's kind of like the main gist. So we can talk about blockchains. So let's say you're on Ethereum, right? And we're just going to pop it over here real quick. This is just one way on how you can bridge. There's multiple sites that you can bridge from, but let's just say we're on Ethereum and we have our USDC. Boom. So it's going to take Ethereum to do this, but we got USDC. Let's say we got $500. Ooh, my bad. So going back to this example, we'd have to type in our wallet address. So you can just always come here and you go to MetaMask, click right here. It copies the address ID, make sure it's correct, maybe do a small amount if your first time ever getting off of a centralized exchange, paste it there, type in, let's say 500, submit, boom. And then what you can do then is you can always wait. It's going to probably take a little bit of time, but then you can click on the triple ellipsis, say view an Ether scan, and then it will show you, like different stuff that happens. So that is one way. And then let's say you got USDC, you're on Ethereum, you go over to Bridge, you type in like the $500 and you say, yo, fam, I want to be like Route to I want to be on Phantom, right? So then you can bridge over that 500. But I stay away from Ethereum best that I can because of the gas fees. Because take a look at this. Just for approving, $38. And notice how I don't have ETH in this wallet, so I can't even do the transaction because I'm gas locked, okay? But normally, if I had the gas fees, that's what I do. I'd swap, pay the gas fee, done, right? So I'd have it there, but I need some Phantom to go from USDC to probably more Phantom, do it all that way. Now, what's nice about Metamask is that I think it works with a lot of blockchains, and what's nice with Phantom and Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, you can bridge over because they're EVM compatible. I'm not going to go into that, but the way how I take it is that it has like code that works on different blockchains, like it understands the language, so then therefore it makes it really easy to do a lot of things. So you can take a look at the list of this. Don't assume that it is EVM compatible because, for example, Solana is not. So something to keep in mind, but I still think you can bridge if you use CERN bridges, but you get the point. So we talk about, bridging. You can bridge over your USDC. In fact, if you had Phantom on the Ethereum network, think of it as, let's say you're in London and you have the US dollar right here. Well, you can then wire this money similar to it's a bank and wire it over to Phantom, which is the US. So you could wire let's say American dollars from being in England over to the US and have American dollars there. Boom, done. Now, granted, you got to pay the gas fees in Ethereum, but you get the point. Now, we talked about what if it's your first time and you still, you got wrapped Phantom. It's going to take a little bit of Phantom to unwrap it. It's a little complex. So regardless, you're going to have to find a way to get Phantom on the Phantom network if you want to do any transactions. So how do you do that? Well, you could actually go to SpiritSwap. It's a decentralized exchange out there on the Phantom side, and they detect if this is your first time doing a trade, they will automatically give you a little bit of Phantom, which is really nice. So I could go over here, I could go to Bridge, and it's detecting which network I'm on, so it switches stuff, but let's just say I'm on Binance Smart Chain. Here, let me cancel this. I'm on Binance Smart Chain, and I want to go over to Phantom. Is it smart enough? Okay, so it tells me to switch, and then what I'll do is I'll say select which currency, and it's smart enough to tell me which one it is. So just because a token exists on one blockchain doesn't mean it exists on another. So this is a limited list. For BNB, I can bridge over BNB, which is actually really nice. And it says they're not going to charge an extra fee. And maybe they charge a little bit, but it's really low. So that's kind of what's cool about that. And then here's that notification about the faucet. You don't want to be gas locked. You want to make sure that you have the currency of the blockchain you're going to. So they say they'll give you 0.4 automatically, which is really nice. Again, Phantom, really cheap. I see this as being the DeFi blockchain out there. So take that as that is. So yeah, you can do that. In case you want to see step-by-step more details, FTM Alerts, he does it. He does a great job. Extreme detail, shows you step-by-step. So if you want to do that, I'll leave a link in the description. Likewise, you can go to ELK Finance for different blockchains, and you can get the ELK token. And then when you go to a different blockchain, you can say, okay, I will sacrifice a little bit of my ELK if you give me $1 for the currency of the blockchain I'm going on. That's also really nice. So CalculatorGuy, he also gives some explanations as there. So, okay, let's talk about now LP tokens. Really interesting because we're going to be taking a look at Liquid Driver, how you can get 165% APR, means you'll get paid out in Liquid Driver tokens, which is really sweet. But there's always things to consider with impermanent loss. So it's kind of like we'll talk about that soon. But conceptually, there's 3 steps to having an LP token. You'll see kind of like 2 tokens, names, and then a slash in between. That means they got fused together. So let's say this is token A, this is Liquid Driver, this is token B, this is my Phantom, right? So I have to do 50-50. I need to get half of my Phantom, half of my Liquid Driver, just in general. And then when I create an LP token, what I do, I actually fuse them together. They become one new token. Whoa. And when I do that, I get a receipt, similar to a bank. I fuse it together and I deposit it and I say, all right, here we go. I got me an LP token. Whoop, whoop. I did on a certain side, I got a receipt. Now I can take this receipt, I can go to different places, and then I will get rewarded. That is the simplest way on how to put it. And when I'm all done, I'd, let's say, click on, oh, can I connect my wallet here? I should be able to then withdraw my LP tokens. I say, I'm gonna take this back. Thank you for the rewards. I appreciate you. But yeah, so I click on withdraw right here. I say, thank you, I appreciate you, but I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna go over back to whatever decentralized exchange. I say, yo, I got this fusion. I'd like to separate it. And now I got 50-50 of the tokens. Now, permanent loss means sometimes price differs and you get different amounts of each one. So maybe you still make a profit, but you could have made more if you held them separately, or maybe price went completely different and then, ooh, you got even wrecked harder. So things to keep in mind with a permanent loss, that gets a little bit confusing. I'm not gonna go into it. I guess the narrative is you want the worst case scenarios when you get two tokens and one goes to the moon and the other one goes down to your mom's basement. Like that is not what you want, because you get stuck with all like majority of the tokens that are really less valuable, and that's not good. But if they both go up the same, or kind of flatline the same, and you're still getting rewards, that is really beneficial. So something to keep in mind. Maybe some of them are more risky, hence giving you more rewards. Something to keep in mind. So we're going to take the long way, and then we'll take the short way. Okay. So we're going to go to SpiritSwap. We'll do an exchange, and we're going to create Liquid Driver Phantom LP tokens. So we're going to follow Routify's path right here. He's making this. Now there's a shortcut way. We're taking the long way. So you would take the connection, connect. All right, let's take a look at time here. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, this is good. Load that up. No. Dang it. Notice how it's automatically switching me because it's looking at my other tabs. So I'm going to make sure that I'm on my Phantom. Give me just 1 second here. Boom. Coming. So I do Phantom, and I'd say, let's say I got a big bag of Phantom, and I want to go to Liquid Driver. I give up 50%, so then that way I got one and the other 50%, and then I do a swap. Now I'm not actually going to do this, but take a look at how low these gas prices are. At the time of recording, it's like 0.6, and Phantom is worth like $3. So I don't know, do the math. That'd be like 18 cents maybe. And then some people are gonna be like, no, professor, that's wrong. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, you got me. But anyways, confirm, boom, done. And again, I'm not going through on it, but then, okay, I got 50-50. Now I click on liquidity and I add liquidity. So this is where I say, yo, I got my 50-50 right here, right? And I'm going to say, I'd max out my Phantom, and then I'd max out my Liquid Driver, which ironically I got some. That's pretty sweet. No, I don't, because it automatically calculated so you don't have it. But the idea is the same. So I should have 50% of it in Phantom, 50 in Liquid Driver, and then by hitting, there should be a button that says like, combine it, boom, combines it, right? So that's pretty cool. So then as soon as that happened, let's see what I do. So now I'd have that LP token. Awesome. So now I'm providing liquidity over to SpiritSwap. I got the receipt because I did the fusion. I got the receipt. Then I can come over to Liquid Driver and say, hey, I got that. Let me stake it. So I'd come over here, I'd stake it, hit max, hit confirm, boom, done. Now I'd be getting 164% of whatever my LP token is worth, and I'd be getting paid in Liquid Driver tokens. And then I could come here every single day because of the low gas fee and just do harvest. And I keep on getting the Liquid Driver token. Now, I can't say whether it's a good price point or not because Liquid Driver, I think, has a lot of utility. People are noticing that. Normally, farming tokens go down to 0. But based on what Liquid Driver is doing, the utility is amazing. I think other people are picking up on it, and Phantom's doing very well. Hence, man, it mooned. So I can't say yes or no, but maybe farming is a good entry for that point. Nevertheless, so that is how you do it. And then you just come over here and you harvest, and then let's take a look at Routify. So you'd say, okay, he would you already get to this point, but once you know this, you can do this for a bunch of other projects as well. So you're harvesting your Liquid Driver. Okay, now what he's doing is he's taking the Liquid Driver rewards and staking it, meaning he's going over here to LQDR, and he's just going in here and approving, depositing it forever. And then, as a result, he gets 98% APR in the form of Liquid Driver, Wrap Phantom, Boo, Lin Spirit. So different amount of tokens. So what's cool about that is when you get all that mixed bag of tokens, you can decide different ratios and amounts that you want to put in. Maybe you want to sell your liquid driver token and keep your boo and then approve it and chuck it in here on the Spooky Island side, right? So what was the shortcut way? So, okay, I'm going over different points. Let's just follow this through. I'll show you the shortcut way later. So this is where he talks about, you lock up your liquid driver and then you get paid in different tokens. And then with the different tokens, you can create different LP tokens and then get more rewards. So you get different combinations. It's kind of cool. Now, finally, after the 6th time, I say I got a shortcut. Well, there's this zap feature where all you do is you come in here and you give your phantom and you go max, or however, well, don't do max. You need some for your gas fees, right? But let's say you do 75% and it'll automatically do the fusion for you and stake it in here, done. Now, in order to reverse it, you still got to do the withdraw, take this, then go to SpiritSwap if that's the side that you're on. But keep in mind, if you were to actually be over here, you wouldn't go to SpiritSwap to withdraw. You would go to a different decentralized exchange. That's a little bit confusing, but it's something to keep in mind. Know which decentralized exchange is holding your fusion tokens, so to speak, because that is where you got to go to undo the fusion to split them. So as soon as you'd be done, you'd hit withdraw. You'd say like confirm, because you say, I want my money. I'm good. I want to do something else with it. And it's like, okay, not a problem. You go to liquidity, and then you would see it right here as your liquidity, and you would say remove. And once you went through all the process of, you could select it, but as soon as you get done with that, it would essentially split it, and you got your 2 different tokens. And then you could swap it out how you normally would. Just think of that you got 2 different tokens in your wallet, just go from there. So that is the main idea of liquidity providing, and then also different like strategies. So, I was mentioning that you could come here with the boo and swap it out for, the phantom. I don't think you could do necessarily on SpiritSwap because they're competitors in that way, so they don't support each other's token. But let's say, I don't know, you got some spell rewards and then you want to swap it out for some liquid driver. Like there's just so many combinations and possibilities based on the reward and your risk factor that you want to do. It's really exciting. So that is how you do all that. And you know how I talked about, receipts? Well, what you can do then is you can also come over to Reaper Farm so that it can automatically auto compound. So let's say you're getting the liquid driver token and you're like, I don't care about this. I just want it to sell it off, because I'd sell it anyway and just get more of the same LP token. So for example, let's say I wanted to get just Phantom in USDC, and I say, I don't care about the liquid driver token. I know it's got a great utility. I don't care. I'm just going to sell it anyway. And then I'd manually buy myself Phantom and USDC, all that good stuff. Well, Reaper says, okay, you know what? I got you, fam. You deposit, you got like some of the tokens, like receipt from Liquid Driver, bring it over here, you deposit it, and we will automatically do all that for you. So they do take a cut of the profit, but then likewise, you can take a look right here and say like, oh, okay, well, I guess I don't want to have to come every day and auto compound, so they'll do it for me. So that is also another feature. So another good place to look for swapping is also OpenOcean. They give you best rates, how to do all that, so that's also cool. If you ever lose your LP tokens, you're like, where did it go? You can always just click View Account and Explorer. This is not my wallet address, but then you would take a look and be like, oh, okay, there it is. And then you're like, okay, you can click on it, copy the contract address by doing copy address, go to your Metamask, and then do assets, and then do import tokens, paste that in there. Hopefully that comes up, and then you just do add custom, and then it should hopefully appear there. So we're going to do Concludy time, wrap this all up, because it's already been a while. What's cool about Decentralized Exchange is it gives you a lot of ability to do stuff, and you can borrow funds, you can lend it, you can get really great APR by just temporarily giving up your funds and getting great rewards back, and you can combine different strategies. Now, you can also go to different blockchains, similar like you got like a passport, you can go to different countries, get different rates that you like. So you can go from a centralized exchange, send it to your MetaMask, you can bridge it over to Phantom, you can create LP tokens, which is essentially you do Kamehameha, even though that's not it, right? Fuse it together, and you're temporarily giving up your funds, and you get a receipt, and then you give the receipt to a different project, and they say, okay, thank you. The money can go up or down, but we'll give you rewards as well. And you're like, okay, this is cool. And then with those rewards, you can do different combinations to get even more rewards. So, and then if you kind of want to be lazy and say, like there's smart contract risk, but you're kind of lazy, you're like, I don't want to have to do this every day. Remember, you can actually take this receipt, you'll get like a different receipt, go to a different project, and they'll automatically auto-compound it. Now, is this confusing? Sure, but at least this is more of a broad spectrum of why people get excited and are hyped. A little bit about bridging, a little bit about transferring funds, and a little bit about how to be, yield farming and why people are so hyped about the APR. So hopefully that helps. I'll see you guys in the next video. Pieces.